Meals for the elderly. We are a daily smile, a friendly face, and a family's peace of mind. Today I want to share with you about my meeting with Gay and Kim, our conversation regarding meals for the elderly, and the people we meet along the way. Gay and Kim have been delivering meals for the elderly for several years now and go out 1 to 2 times per week. Gay has a couple of different partners that she partners up with, and she always enjoys her time catching up with her friends, old and new. Meals for the Elderly has a very heartwarming tale of how they got started. Miss Mary Alice Rogers, way back in 1974, saw a need in the community and wanted to do something about the homebound and elderly who were needing someone to bring them food. Their families had been moving away, leaving them behind, and the senior family members were still home, and in order to keep them in their homes and out of state-run facilities, Miss Rogers realized that they were going to need food and they were going to need to be checked on, and out of that thought grew Meals for the Elderly. Meals for the Elderly just continued to grow and gain notice until we have what we have today. The vision for Meals for the Elderly is a future where no adult is hungry, isolated, or forgotten, and their mission is empowering individuals of our community to maintain autonomy within the comfort of their homes by delivering nourishing meals, coordinating services, and providing personal interaction. The first thing that I think about as I get ready for the opportunity to go out and share time with my friend Gay and her friend Kim is getting to know the new friends of the community. Since we've since adopted this community as our home, I reflect on how the people we are serving are the very people that raised this community, that raised us, and that we have decided to call home, and now they're often left alone. Fortunate to be in their homes because they don't want to go somewhere new, nor do they want to be in a facility, sometimes not even a senior care living center. They're unaware of new surroundings when this happens, and they don't have family to come and visit very often. Now, with Meals for the Elderly, it's up to us to come up and take care of them and help them as they get older while learning new things that we haven't even begun to think about. One of those things is being homebound with the inability to provide meals for ourselves. Sometimes this comes in a manner of not being able to get out and drive, but many times it comes when at the end of the month, the money needed to provide nutritious meals for the next month is simply not available. And this is where Meals for the Elderly comes into play. Like many nonprofits, volunteers are the backbone of this community, and the people that we met along the way are many times the forgotten ones. But they are so sweet and they are so thankful, not just for the meal, not just for the nutritional aspect it brings, but also for the opportunity, for the interaction, and to know that someone is going to come daily to check on them, that someone is going to come daily and have a conversation, maybe help them out with a little chore, but mostly just to make sure they're okay, and they appreciate knowing that somebody cares that they're still here. One of the things that I noticed while I was out volunteering was that the communities, the cross-cultural of this particular area, once you get older, once you become part of the senior group, those barriers are no longer there. It doesn't matter whether you speak English, it doesn't matter the color of your skin. All that matters is that you have a heart for the person that you're about to meet. For several of the people that we dropped off to, it was still just as sweet, but it was definitely in the lower socioeconomic area of town, and while there was an equalizer in all of this, it was still sometimes just a little scary to get where we needed to be, but it was definitely always worth it whenever we got to the door and there was a happy smile to see us, and it just lifted my spirit to lift theirs. Meals for the Elderly is a unique situation in that it's not just for the elderly. It's for anyone who is homebound, whether they be in a situation that they're not able to leave their home or they are truly elderly and homebound. Anyone under the age of 65 does not need to have a doctor's note, but anyone that's under 65 does need to have a doctor's note to validate their ailment and to validate what is keeping them homebound. But Meals for the Elderly is always happy to help them out and to make sure that they receive nutritious and delicious meals. With Meals for the Elderly, they deliver about 600 to 700 meals per week that are put together by volunteers, that are sorted out by volunteers, and that are carried out by volunteers. They have 50 dedicated routes, and if the volunteers come regularly weekly, 1 to 5 times a week, they're going to have their own dedicated route. If they come once or twice a month, then they may not get the same route each time. And if there's a substitute, it's highly unlikely that they're going to get the same route. That's just another opportunity for them to meet new people and to get new smiles and to know that there's opportunities at Meals for the Elderly for individuals, groups, and substitutes. So if you have your work community that's looking for something to volunteer together, go out and engage in a volunteer activity such as Meals for the Elderly. It's a great one to put together. You know, once or twice a week as a group from work, and you'll deliver meals to the homebound and elderly. They have to pick up between 10 and 11:15, and then it takes anywhere from an hour to an hour and 45 minutes each day. It's, just depends on how many people your route delivers to or how many people are talkative and excited to see you. We definitely had a few of those, and they just needed little chores done, a little tweak of a chair or tilting the TV, adjusting the curtain so that it didn't shine on the screen. And like I said, that's just about anything, and it's just so many things that it could be, and the volunteers are always happy to do it. These are just a couple of the little notes that they've received. Thank you so much for the meals, and a big thank you for all the volunteers who are all so faithful. I'm able to be at home because of the meals. Hugs to all, Miss Betty. I know that Miss Rogers is reading these as they come in, and she is just as happy on the other side knowing that the people that are still down here are still being cared for and that her dream and mission is still alive. 3 key things that I learned, and why is it significant? 1, people want to be seen no matter their age. They do. I wanted to be seen as a little girl. I wanted to be seen as a teenager. I wanted to be seen as a young adult. I wanted to be seen when I became a wife and a mother, and I frequently felt like I wasn't seen. And now whenever I've gone out and I've visited with my community, and I see that even in our older age, that's really what matters. We want to be seen. We want to know that somebody cares and that we're not going to just live out our days in solitary confinement. And that's a really big thing for me. Sometimes we get introspective and feel like it's just us and everybody else has got all of these wonderful things going on. And this really helped me to remember that it's not about me, it's about us, which takes me to volunteering takes a village. I'm a firm believer in building villages. I raised my children with the thought process of it takes a village. I help my families. I help my friends. I have a wonderful friend whose sister was definitely someone that needed a village to help take care of her, and her daughter the same. She suffers some mental challenges, and it takes the village, not just the village of her extended family, but the village of her friends and her community as well. And were she here in San Angelo, I know that she would definitely appreciate what Meals for the Elderly and Homebound would be able to help her with. Meals for the Elderly brings people together 100%. There were so many different people volunteering. There were so many different faces and age groups that just really surprised me. I am used to the church adage of 20% of the people do 100% of the work. And I'm here to tell you that it felt like 100% of the community was there helping out. And it was a wonderful experience. And I believe this will help me in my counseling to just help me remember that as we age, barriers fall, our eyes get a little more open, and possibly maybe I can learn how to open my eyes earlier rather than later. Thank you so much, and I hope that you've enjoyed my aspect of Meals for the Elderly. The pictures that I did utilize, I had permission to utilize. I did not want to put myself in a situation where I felt like I was, I'm sorry, words are still escaping me, but I wanted to enjoy the experience and not take pictures as I went, so I borrowed pictures with permission. Thanks so much. Have a great day.